Thank you guys for coming back quickly. We are going to move on and do the next problem. Okay, let's see what's going on here. David reads 40 pages of a book in 50 minutes. Let's see. So, guys, if you're unmuted, if you would do it yourself, I think most of you are muted. I can go back and do it, but good. So, guys, we're doing number 7. David reads 40 pages in 50 minutes. How many pages should he be able to read in 80 minutes? So, the way I see it, if I can find out how many pages he can read in 1 minute, I'll be in good shape. Okay. I always take advantage of one. Okay. If he takes 50 minutes to read 40 pages, let's write it down. He takes 50 minutes to read 40 pages. So he will take, I'll do it in two ways. Okay. I like to do it this way, the way I'm doing it, but I'll do it a second way, the way most people do in the US, actually. And you'll say, oh yeah, that's how I would do it. Most of you would say that. So he takes 50 minutes to read. Yeah. So in 1 minute, you will be dividing because it'll be fewer. In 1 minute, he will be reading fewer pages. You will be dividing 40 pages by 50. Now that I'm going to cancel the zeros. And makes a little bit of sense, guys. He reads 4/5 of a page. 4/5 of a page. Kind of makes sense. He's in 1 minute, he's reading less than a page. Okay. Now in 80 minutes, what will happen? In 80 minutes, you will be multiplying. That'll be more. If in 1 minute he reads 4/5 of a page, in 80 minutes he will be doing more. So you'll be multiplying. I'm going to write it properly, more consistent with the way we write on the board in a second. So I really want to find this, guys. That's my answer. 4/5 times 80. And that turns out to be 4 times 16. 80 divided by 5 is 16. And 4 times 16 is 40, 64, if I'm not mistaken. So in 80 minutes, he will read 64. Just a moment. So what am I doing? Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. 50 minutes is 40 pages. So 100 minutes will be 80 pages and 80 minutes will be less than 80. That's totally fine. That's reasonable. Answer is 64. Let's do it a second way. It's called setting up a proportion. Okay. So you can always say that. Okay. It's a rate, it's a speed. You can say you're looking for pages. Okay. Number of pages divided by time one, the first time, or the time that you're interested in. I'm just going to call it P1. P1 is the number of pages and time one. And then P2 divided by time two. Okay, it doesn't matter. You can flip it. You can write time one over P1, time two over P2, just be consistent. I'll tell you how I'm going to fill them up. P2, P1, let's say, is the one you're looking for, number of pages. Okay, leave that alone. Time one, it goes with 80 minutes. Okay, you want to know how many pages does he read in 80 minutes? Fill that time one is 80. The other pair, P2 over time two, is the given condition. 40 pages, every 50 minutes. So T2 is going to be 50, and P2, number of pages, is 40. And it'll be exactly what we got before. So I'm going to divide this. I need a little bit of room. I'm going to leave this guy here. And P1 is the number of pages it will finish. If you multiply both sides by 80, 64. Done. Here are two methods. This is called setting up a proportion. This is called setting up a proportion. It's basically starting with the assumption and playing with the numbers. If you're going from 50 minutes to one, you will be dividing because it'll be less. If you're going from 1 minute to something more, you'll be multiplying because it's bound to be more. Whichever one works for you. I'm going to pause just for a couple of minutes. Let me know if you have any questions. Excuse me. This is a good problem. It's a little challenging. Nothing beyond you guys, but I think it's more challenging. Excuse me, more challenging than the ones we have done so far today. Let's find out. All right. Two numbers are in the ratio 3 to 4. It could be 30 and 40. It could be 3 and 4. It could be 6 and 8. Find the numbers. If their sum is 98. Okay. Again, I'm going to go back to my pictures. I like pictures. So the ratio of the two numbers is 3 to 4. That's why I'm going to use 7 boxes. Okay, I have 7 boxes. Let's say the first number is blue. And the second number is yellow. Okay. All right, guys. This is the first number. This is the second number. What does that mean, guys? If each blue box represents 2, each yellow box must represent 2, and the number will be all of the blue boxes, and the second number will be all of the yellow boxes added together. Now they're saying their sum is 98. So when you add the two numbers, you get 98. All of this is 98. So you will say 98. Now you need to find the value of each box. You will say 98 divided by 7, and you'll get fractions if I'm not mistaken, and that's okay. 98 divided by 7, the whole thing, the blue parts together represent a number, the yellow parts together represent a number. They are in the ratio 3 to 4. So I take 98. If you add the two numbers, you'll get all of the blue parts, all of the yellow parts, 98. What's 98 divided by 7? Oh, that's not bad. I like it. We could get fractions, but we didn't, and that's not a bad thing. So the first number is going to be, I'm not going to write a bunch of 14s. It's going to be 14 times 3. And the second number is going to be 14 times 4. So my numbers are Numbers are 14 times 3 is 30, 42. And 14 times 4 is 40, 56. Now, if you check the ratio, if you divide 42 by 7, you'll get 3. If you divide 56 by, sorry, not 7. If you divide 42 by 14, you'll get 3. If you divide 56 by 14, you will get 4. So the ratio holds. And when you add them, 40 plus 50 is 90. 2 plus 6 is 98. So I'm happy. This is correct. Now, the next one is a little tricky, and I don't know how to do it visually. I have to do it algebraically. And I'm going to save it here in case people have questions. I'm going to take this question and go back, create a new one. So again, the two numbers are 3 to 4. Okay. So you can always say, we are now doing algebra. You can always say, if the first number is 3x, then the second one must be 4x. And we're introducing variables, something you have done in high school. We'll do a little more algebra next chapter, actually. When we're done with this chapter 6, we'll do more algebra, but I don't know how to do it without any algebra. Once again, guys, if your numbers are 3x and 4x, your ratio will be 3 to 4. This is your first number, 3x is your first number, and 4x is your second number. And you can divide, when you're finding the ratio, you divide 4x by x, 3x by x, you'll get 3 to 4. So that's not a bad way to start. Now they're saying the product is 768. Product means when you multiply the two numbers, you get 768. Well, if you're to multiply, then that has to be 768. Okay? And that's the algebra is not too bad. And I'm going to write on the left-hand side 12. 3 times 4 is 12. X times x is x squared. And don't forget to do that and just write x. You'll be off. All right. On the left-hand side now, I have 12x squared. If you divide both sides by 12, what do we get? And I will use my calculator. 768 divided by 12 is what? 768 divided by 12. And I'm glad it's a nice, perfect square. That makes me feel good because I don't think I messed it up. 64. Now, you need to find the value of x. If you know the value of x, you can find the two numbers. So your x is going to be x is going to be the square root of 64, which is going to be 8, really plus minus 8. I'm just going to write 8, and I hope there is a way you can do plus minus here. If I can't, I don't see any plus minus here. So remember, guys, when you find the square root of a number, it could be plus, it could be minus. Okay, there's no easy way of writing plus minus 8. That's okay. I'm going to write it as follows. So your numbers are 3 times 8. Remember, it was 3x, sorry. It was 3x. X is plus or minus 8. So your answers are Uh, the numbers are 8 times 3 is 24, and 32, or, and you have to take into account the negative values, negative 24 and negative 32. Just going to write or here. Now I'm going to check it. Okay. Clearly, 24 and 32 have this ratio. If you divide it by 8, you're going to get 3. If you divide 32 by 8, you're going to get 4. So the ratio part is consistent. I just want to make sure 24 times 32 is 768. 24 times 32. Yeah, so we got it right. We got it right. Once again, guys, when you find the square root of a number, make sure you take into account both plus and minus. If I give you a problem like this, and you just give me the positive answers, I'll take off some points. Probably not half, ideally a little less than half, but out of 10, I'll take off 2 points if you don't include the negative numbers. I know you know how to do it because you got 24 and 32, but you want to factor in the negative side as well, negative answers as well. Should be there. Just trying to make sure we are being recorded. Yeah, it's recording. So let me do the ninth one, guys. The last problem for this section. Okay, this one isn't bad at all. It's a very nice problem, actually. You'll see it in many fifth grade books. All right, Gary, Bill, and Carmela invested in a corporation in the ratio of 2, 3 to 5. What does that mean? If Gary gets 2 parts, I'm going to do this a little differently. Um, Not that it really matters. Gary, Bill, Carmela. The ratio is 2 to 3 to 5. Okay. Now, visually, if Gary gets 2 parts, see, if Gary gets 2 parts, I'm going to make Gary's circle yellow. Gary gets 2 parts. Then Bill gets 3 parts, 3 identical parts. I'm going to make Bill's color pink. You could have done a strip. Carmela, I'm going to make Carmela green. All right. So all the all the circles represent the same amount. The colors represent who they belong to. Now, all of this, 5 for Carmela, 3 for Bill, 2 for Gary, all together is worth $82,000. All of this is 82,000 bucks. How do I know that? Because the question says so. Now, I need to find the value of each circle. If I can find the value of each circle, I'm good to go. To find the value of each circle, I'm going to take 82,000 divided by 10. Why 10, guys? There are 10 circles. 10 identical circles together represent 82,000. And clearly, 82,000 divided by 10 is 8,200. It's not that difficult. I'm going to say 82 divided by 10. Where's 10 coming from? 2 plus 3 plus 5 is 8,200. Excuse me. Okay. Now, what do they want us to find? How much will each receive? All right. So Gary will get each circle is worth 82. Okay. This is worth 82. This is worth 82. This is worth 82. 8,200. I'm sorry. Now, Gary gets two of those. So Gary will get, I just don't have a whole lot of room, so I have to write here. Gary gets 82 times 2, 164. Carmela, no, Bill gets 82 times 3. Your calculator will tell you something like this. 82 times 3 is 186. That's what Bill gets. And Carmela gets 82 times 5. I can do it in my head. I'm just going to use my calculator. 82. 41 triple zero. Now let me double check. 82. Yeah, 41,000. Now, if you add all these, 41,000, 18,600, 41,59, 60, 70. Yeah, that's exactly 82,000. This is the amount that each gets. And I added the three numbers and it should turn out to be 82,000 and it does add up to 82. So this is our answer to this is our answer to question 9. Let's see if we have any questions, guys. So I don't have anything to add, guys, right now. I'll be happy to take some questions. Um, as far as I know, we are recording it. I'll upload it today or tomorrow. Both parts will be there. And next class, we'll start algebra. We're kind of done with this um, portion chapter, rates chapter. We kind of, not kind of, we actually did all the problems. And we'll start our little algebra next class. And hopefully next week, we'll see face to face. We'll meet face to face and we'll decide on our exam to date. And I'll give you a review day before the exam, no matter what. So we won't come to class and say the exam is tomorrow. We won't. We'll discuss things next week. Hopefully, Milton won't hurt us too bad. We'll go back to the university. And on Monday, we'll talk. If you guys want to do a review day, then we can do the exam on Wednesday. If you say, no, we need one more day to recover, that's fine. I'll do that. It's up to you guys. Kind of leave it up to you guys to decide. Feel free to unmute yourself and see if you have any questions for me. All right, a lot of people are here today. That's nice. So, guys, I don't have anything. If you don't have any questions for me, feel free to leave. When everybody leaves, I'll leave.